See, I heard that hip-hop was dead out here in Texas. I guess you ain't get the memo.
Look, it's K.A. beat, man.
We bringing that real shit back. Put your cups up and let's have a toast.
Here's the good music. We probably have to force them just to distribute it. Mainstream polluted, change I refuse it. I know this shit bound to start a movement. This the new Houston. Here's the good music. We probably have to force them just to distribute it. Mainstream polluted, change I refuse it. I know this shit bound to start a movement. This the new Houston. I'm contemplating as the sweet burn. Everybody singing and dancing, now it's the streets turn. Arsonist on track, I set the spark and let the beat burn. Most niggas claiming that they hold and be the least burned. This the new Houston, better make way. This the new Houston, better make way. This the new Houston, better make way. You can't do shit but witness what's finna take place. I'm sending all that whack rap on the vacay. It ain't round trip, I gave all them niggas one way. I'm versatile, why these niggas rapping one way and call that shit music.
Bayou City Reviews, Double, Bizzle, Rhino, coming to you with our season 1 finale episode. Just giving some final thoughts about what we thought about the reviews and everything else, the controversies from the past couple of months that we've been filming this show. So we're going to break it up in segments what we're talking about, from different things, from the controversies to our favorite producers, songs, everything. And everything's going to be based off of what we've covered so far, except for anything that we're anticipating in the future. So, first topic.
You see what I'm saying? When I take it and I write that, it's because a lot of people think that. Yeah. And they're not saying it because they're cowardly people. You see what I'm saying? So when you write it and you put it there and you leave it and say, watch, let me watch and see what happens. And there's so much controversy around it, you didn't say anything. Then you go, see, they think that. They just won't say it to them because they're a bunch of punks.
So throughout this whole short process, we've gotten our fair share of controversies. We've been accused of a lot of things. We've had a lot of things said about us, good and bad. But in particular, we like to just talk about what we've experienced so far, in general.
Yeah, well, I took one of the biggest controversies or biggest issues that I had I guess felt a certain way about was the whole Express deal. Saying we have to do appropriate research on whatever we're covering so we can get that across.
Right.
It's, to me, I understand it, but it's not realistic. The whole aspect, we approach things as if we've never heard of it, you know, whatever. Somebody's handing you a CD, listen to it and tell me what you think. So nobody in their fucking right mind is gonna go research, go ask somebody's mama how they came up with the idea or whatever. This is how I'm taking it. I'm listening to it however many times, and this is what I got from it. All the extra stuff is not necessary. It's not. It makes no sense to do, because not the average person
for what we're doing.
Yeah, for what we're doing, it makes no fucking sense at all.
We also got there with shows, not Howard, because we didn't know it was a compilation. We just knew there was a lot of features, which makes sense because it's a compilation. But even if you don't know that, going into it, compilation or not, if that's what you're listening to, that's the only thing you've heard, you're still going to say the same thing. Can he hold the project by himself? He has a compilation, cool.
It makes more sense that way.
Exactly.
But us not even taking that approach to listening to it makes a fucking huge difference.
It has to come directly from the music. That's the whole point. There's no research. We don't go look at what anybody else says about it. It's just strictly from the music.
And to say, before I forget, then you can keep on going. It's just like, if we did go research everything there was to research before we gave you a review on a project, then that means we did the research. All three of us know everything. So we come into the review with all of us knowing everything. And we're gonna give you the same exact review from 3 people.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's all about what comes from the music and what we got from it. So doing the research isn't isn't what this show's about. So
Right.
Continue.
Well, I mean, that's one of the main things. Another thing to follow the research aspect, the whole thing that the track sounds pointed out, doing your research, but the whole mistake of, okay, this is such and such first project, second project, and all, like, reality, that has nothing to do with a damn thing. Whether if we got the dates wrong or whatever, the overall message is what we get from the music.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, I understand people will be nitpicky,
Yeah.
but that's a little fucking ridiculous.
Well, I mean, we do, if we're going to say stuff, we do want to be factual, so I get that. But the only thing I can say about that is that was never anyone's major complaint about
Yeah,
anything.
but everybody piggybacked off of that.
I know,
main key points.
but that's because if you have an inch of truth, you can go a long way with it as far as, well, y'all got this wrong. But it's really not even about that type of stuff. It wasn't about first or second or third mixtape. It was really about offending friends and cliques and stuff like that.
Well, we know the
Right.
real fucking problem.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna start all this ruckus based off of that specific
Right.
deal,
We'll see
come on,
through
that
it.
makes-
We'll see
Yeah,
through it.
because
That makes no sense.
I mean, for instance, I mean, if somebody reviewed, you know, something I've done and put the wrong date on it, I would probably be like, hey, you know, but that was actually this date. I would probably point it out, but I wouldn't, you know, go all haywire about it. And the thing is, you know, like we said before, that's why it doesn't matter. You know, even though it is our fault for, you know, not having our facts correct, it wouldn't change our review one way or the other. If it was your
Right.
first album or your 11th album, it still wouldn't change the review a damn bit. You know what I mean?
You don't want to make it seem like we're making excuses. We got that type of stuff wrong.
That's
we
our
clean it
fault.
up. But really, it's about what we think about the project itself.
Yeah.
That's it. Also, one of the big ones will be the Dope Easy interview that came out recently, where he said it was really no disrespect, but okay, we're not sensitive. The interview was pretty pointed as far as our credibility and telling people what to do.
100, not saying 100 people literally, but this is just a way if I can give an example. Where I was at, I may have been able to touch 100 people, and out of those 100 people, 98 of the motherfuckers was gonna like everything that I did, and 2 of them wasn't gonna like it. I feel like where I was at, where I'm at now, in a position where right before Footprints on the Moon, and once I drop it, everything, it's gonna shift from 100 people to literally like 1,000 people, and out of those 1,000 people, 800 people gonna love it and 200 ain't gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? So
what do you say to those people that don't like it? Like, have you gotten any?
To be honest, I haven't heard a lot of people that don't like it. So only really negative response I have gotten from it were full negative was your boys over at Bayou City, and
I was just gonna ask about that. How do you feel about, because Bayou City is like this new, if you want to say, media outlet that has come out. What do you say about their review on your mixtape?
Just about mine and anybody's period on theirs. I respect. You know how everybody say you gotta respect opinion. I respect that they have an opinion. I respect that the fact that they're entitled to theirs, but I don't respect their opinion. Just simply because I can't. Burger King can't tell me how to make a pizza, and pizza can't tell me how to make a flamboyant burger. You know what I'm saying? Just because, and then I know 2 of the 3 very personally. You know what I'm saying? For me to know their background, for them to be given the type of opinions that they are about the music, it's kind of a little off to me. You know what I'm saying? Then the bigger guy, I don't even know his name. His opinion, it just seemed like he was a little he was a little upset about something. You know what I'm saying? It seemed a little more personal, to where even when there was a positive thing said, that it was like, well, no, no, you can't get that opinion. You're a fan. He literally said, no, you can't say that because you're a fan. Yeah.
But
like,
this
so
is
you know
my
what I'm saying?
thing. Seeing as one of the Rhino, he is an artist. He's a rapper. How do you feel like this guy? He's a rapper. And how do you feel about him critiquing?
The example, because it's no disrespect. Like, Ronald is a super cool dude as a person, but once again, you can't tell me how to shoot a free throw if you only made 2 out of 100. You see what I'm saying?
Hey.
You can't go to Shaq for free throw.
Let me explain something real quick before I hand the floor over to the fellas. The format of this is not a radio show. It's not a news broadcast or anything like that. It's a conversation, and we're here to talk and speak as if this camera isn't here. That's why you notice a lot of times I try not to look at the camera. I'm looking at the camera now because I'm talking to the viewers, but normally I'm talking to my friends about the music. So anything that's been said, you know, it's
what we would normally say to each other.
Exactly. And sometimes it's what people think, they're just not saying it. You know, so none of this stuff should ever be taken personal. Nothing's personal, nothing's visceral at all. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was personal, I would have never said this.
I don't know though, like the rest of the rappers, I don't know him, so.
He the only one I know.
But,
or this.
and I'm gonna tell you another thing I got from this. Again, I don't know Dope Easy, but from Reggie Bush and Kool-Aid and Blue Magic, he seems like a very cool person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just has this.
No, Doe's super. He's super approachable.
Or this.
No,
but
man, Doe is very.
If he comes across as a very likable person, a very easy person to root for.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep.
So I like that. I just.
Or this.
And that's fair to say, and it's not even like a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, none of it's ever a shot. No doubt. Representation, like they say, I'm gonna ditto it. I'm never gonna have a problem with Doe being the face of Houston. Never ever. Unless he comes super whack, which Doe has. I've never heard a bad Doe song.
Unless he crosses to the dark side.
Yeah, I've never heard a bad Doe song or verse. But so, and a lot of are we harsh in what we say?
You see what I'm saying? When I take it and I write that, it's because a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
And they're not saying it because they're cowardly people. You see what I'm saying? So when you write it and you put it there and you leave it and say, watch, let me watch and see what happens. And there's so much controversy around it, you didn't say anything. Then you go, see, they think that.
Yeah.
They just won't say it to them because they're a bunch of punks.
Yeah.
So, and other than that, like me personally, if it really was personal, I wouldn't be buying my way into everybody's shows and paying for parking and paying for all that stuff, bringing people to the shows. It's never personal. Honest?
Yeah, well, I'm not taking it too personal. A lot of it, I feel like I just need to talk to him in person. Like you said, I've known Doe for longer than I've known these two, and I've known these guys for 10 plus. And so I'm really not the person to put family business out. Whatever issues me and him might have, actually ain't no issues first and foremost, but anything that we need to talk about, we're gonna just talk about man to man and go from there. That's just on me though.
Yeah. When I first watched it, I was a little conflicted because again, he comes in saying no disrespect. I know Rhino personally. He's a super cool dude, but you know what I mean? And then, you know, about the free throws thing. I don't know where that analogy came from. I don't know why it was only 2 out of 100. You know what I mean?
Seems pretty clear to me.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. So the only, obviously if you're saying somebody only made 2 out of 100, that's obviously not a positive thing. But I don't know if you're saying that you've done more than me, you're that much better than me. I don't know what angle you were going with that. And I'm glad you pointed out that somebody from the side did say Shaq. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you back door.
Did you listen to it again?
Yeah, I had to listen to it again. So somebody hollered out Shaq and he said, yeah, you don't go to Shaq for 3 free throws, which obviously everybody knows Shaq was not good at free throws. So I don't know if he's got some misguided anger or personal problem towards me or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's about you.
I I think he takes it a little bit more personal
because I'm an artist, or
I think because we personally know him.
But here's the thing.
That's what I really
and the whole thing about like when he said, "I know their background."
Yeah.
Like, what is it about our background where
that,
we can't have an opinion on music?
On top of that, I feel like by his reaction, it's obvious that he didn't watch all of the reviews. He only probably saw Footprints on the Moon. So I really can't hold too much of what he's saying, because throughout every review, we've given numerous compliments on top of compliments, and we even said we're going to be a little bit more critical on him because we know his talent, what his ability is, and he's one of the top in the city. So it's pretty obvious that he didn't really see the other reviews. So I really can't, what he's saying really can't hold too much weight in my opinion.
Right, and I'm glad you said that to me that day on the phone, that it was obvious he only watched that one, because the fact for him to preface and say, I hadn't bumped into too many people who don't like it, but the only negative response, that caught me more than anything, like negative. Man, every video review we've done, we've given him a good grade on the tape. We said we wouldn't mind him being the face of Houston.
Yeah,
so I don't know how any of that's negative.
It's because it's a few reasons. Human nature, people are selective in what they hear.
To where even when there was a positive thing said, that it was like, well, no, 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 you can't get that opinion, you're a fan. He literally said, no, you can't say that because you're a fan.
Therefore, I mean, just from that alone, I believe he can tell stories.
But you can't say that though. He hasn't shown you that he can tell a story. He's shown you that he can stick to a concept.
Well, I know, I'm saying that's my opinion, that from the fact that he can stick to the concepts.
Those are two totally different things.
I know.
Two totally different things.
I think I agree with what you're saying, and then it's like I agree, but then on the flip side, I'm like, but I don't be getting bored.
That's because you're part of his core fan base, though. We're talking about growth as an artist. Your core fan base is gonna like what you put out regardless of what you do.
Oh no, it hadn't changed a bit. Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. If you're talking about growth as an artist, and two, you are talking about this man's music. So of course, if not just him, a lot of people, because a lot of people get salty about a lot of shit we say. But at the same time, it wasn't a negative review. We were very critical, and we had a different type of discussion that you would have never heard or seen anywhere else. You know, and it wasn't even like anger or personal. It was just, if you're having a discussion about politics, sports, and stuff like that, it can get a little intense when you're talking about it, because people have stances, and when you speak with conviction and contrition, it comes off a certain way. Another thing, Bayou City Reviews is not a format, or it's not formatted to tell the artist what to do. It's just feedback of what we got from hearing the music. Make whatever music you want. Personally, I don't care. Speaking for myself, I don't care. I'm going to listen to it and tell you what I got from it.
That's all I got to say about it. I think that was too much.
Right there. It was a lot.
Yeah, again, I'll backdoor that and say I think he's very misconstrued about what we were trying to convey in the deal, because it was all about Burger King can't tell Pizza Hut how to do their recipe and vice versa. And all that. Like, we're not telling you nothing. We're not saying we're the most qualified people. You know what I'm saying?
We're qualified because we're fans and we listen to the music. Just watch all the reviews. If you catch one episode, you're not going to get everything. If we covered Reggie Bush and Kool-Aid, Blue Magic, and Footprints on the Moon for a reason in that particular order. Other than that,
and like you,
I've already talked to Doe. I spoke to Doe on Twitter. I told him all this stuff, so I'm not really too much worried about it. Just wanted to address it in our
just addressing it, because so many people have asked, you know, what is our response and why do we feel so negative about it, and it's never been the case ever.
And like
so
this
is the only time we're ever going to address it from here on out. At least I'm not saying another fucking thing about it. It is what it is. I got nothing below for Doe.
Doe answered the question he was asked, which was, what do you think about negative reviews? Fine. How do you expect him to answer it? Now, what I want to know is, how is Footprints on the Moon different from Blue Magic? Because that's what I was critical of. If it's different, let us know. That's the type of feedback we like.
Biggest surprise artist thus far to me I thought about it, and it was tough, but I have to go with Dustin Prestige only because I had heard the name and thought he was a producer this whole time. And I can't tell you why I thought what I thought, but I thought he was a producer. So from thinking that to now knowing that he's an artist, and then hearing that album and the way he pieced Dharma together to me, that was the biggest surprise to me thus far. You know what I mean? Going from thinking somebody was one to the next, and he killed the project on the artist level, not the producer. I mean, it was good production. I'm saying him personally. That was the biggest surprise to me, to know that Dustin Prestige was the type of artist he was and had that great of a project out there. So that was my biggest surprise.
Yeah, mine be a little different because going into Bayou City Reviews, I was only aware of the big names. I wasn't really aware of a lot of people that we've been covering. So I guess the one person that I was highly or greatly impressed by was, and there's many, but I think I'm going to go with Goonie. It was between Envy Hunter and Goonie,
yeah.
But man, like, I don't know, I just really like Goonie's music, and it just completely took me off guard, you know. Honorable mentions would probably be, like I said, Envy Hunter, Show, K-Dog, you know. Even Boston George surprised the fuck out of me, man. I wasn't expecting that shit, you know, from taking it from the beginnings, but what you got?
Man, that's a real hard question for me, because there's a few that surprised me for different reasons. But if I had to pick someone just off me thinking like, man, I know this person's shit is gonna be so trash.
Damn.
But when I listened to it, I was like, oh shit, alright. That had to be Stunner Band.
Oh,
I thought Stunner shit was going to
yeah.
But no, it was jamming.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
But it's honorable mentions, man. Man, Galette, I didn't know what to expect from him, and that was phenomenal. Fucking Dwayne I mean,
since we're throwing that out there.
It's so many people that just blew me away by that shit being that good.
Since we're throwing that out there, mine was between Dustin, Envy, and Dwayne Jackson.
Yeah.
But again, the story I told you about Dustin is why I went with him, because that's what made it a bigger surprise. So shout out to Envy and Dwayne. It was about a three-way tie.
I gotta go. Damn, man. It was a two-way tie, but Man-Child was probably my biggest disappointment, only because Turbo Life.
Oh yeah.
I want to say Roosh. Roosh came up second because as much hype as he gets, I don't get what the big deal is. That's just me though. But the only reason Roosh doesn't take it for Man-Child for me is because I haven't heard anything from Roosh that I like. So it came. I'm just disappointed that. And for someone so big, I was expecting to be like, yo, this dude's gonna be wrecking, but nah. So I was disappointed in that. But I was disappointed that Man-Child put out Turbo Life, and yeah, it's just based off of Turbo Life, really. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Well, obviously, Man-Child would have been #1 across the board, probably. But just to say something different, man, I would say Maxo Cream.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's right.
Mainly
like
because, I wouldn't say I didn't like it so much. It wasn't what I expected.
Okay.
When I first when I first learned about him, I seen a couple of his videos and I was like, man, I can't wait to fucking go over his project. And when I heard the project, it really caught me off guard, and he went in a completely different way than I expected. And it wasn't for me. I could see a lot of people liking it, it just wasn't for me. And that was my biggest surprise / letdown.
Man-Child by a landslide. Yeah. And you can refer back to the review of that Turbo Life.
What would you say other than Man-Child? Because I feel like that's obvious. We damn near every review pointed out how disappointed we are.
I mean, well, I mean, other than that, I mean, look,
well, if that's
I'm not gonna say it because nothing was and I mean nothing was as disappointing as that Turbo Life mixtape. Nothing.
This is just about the music that we heard, not about the people.
And that's about that one project.
Yeah.
Project. Not the artist or his talent.
Has nothing to do with the artist. Has everything to do with the music we heard.
Nothing at all was more disappointing than that.
Project that I look forward to in the future. I really look forward to hearing what One Young has to put out after the very bold things we pointed out in the review that we noticed.
You think of that?
I want to see how he bounces, not bounce back, because obviously we don't mean shit to what he's doing. But I wondered, is he going to take heed to anything that we said or what we noticed? I say that's the biggest one. That's the biggest one.
Okay. Mine would, by far, would be Bully on the Beat 2. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if he kicks it up a notch, you know, and does anything different. But to be honest with you, I mean, I'm most looking forward to in the future. I mean, that's it. I mean, not to knock anybody else. I'm going to listen to everybody else, but Bully on the Beat 2, for sure.
Yeah. Ironically, I thought that. But I'm kind of calming down on Bully on the Beat 2 because I don't want to be disappointed. Because Bully on the Beat 1 was so good to me that I don't even think it's going to be hard for him to beat it to me. Anyway, ironically, I'm looking forward to hear something from Manchild. I want to see him.
That shit will sell, bro.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure he'll come out with something else. I want to hear where he goes after Turbo Life. You know what I mean? Other than that, probably Dwayne Jackson, Fats, you know.
I thought about that.
Yeah, you know, but YJ too. I want to hear YJ. I want to hear YJ. But other than that,
put out straight fire.
YJ, hey man.
I'm definitely looking forward to more of Envy, I would say, because Envy was one of my, if not the favorite, pound for pound album, mixtape, whatever have you. But again, it's like another three-way tie between Dustin, Envy, and Dwayne Jackson. Like, those were my three biggest, like, wow, as far as pound for pound, artist, production, you know, the whole nine. So Envy, Dwayne, and Dustin. Which I'm definitely looking forward to.
Mine is Show. I just, outside of Houston music, like his type of music, the type of stuff I like and kind of gravitate towards. And I would like to sit down and, I mean, I've heard them, but just as far as reviewing it and talking about it, definitely Show. K-Dog as well.
When thinking of this question, like quite a few people popped in my head specifically. One was Express, because his project was focused around a certain topic, so I kind of want to see him on something different to see, you know,
see what his mind comes up with.
You know. Second person is Prince Cannon. I really look forward to seeing what he do. Somebody else, but I just forgot. But those main two I look forward. Oh, of course, and Dope, to see where he goes from here. I don't expect him to drop another project for a while, but I do look forward to continuing following what he has and what he brings to the table.
And let me add Goonie Split, because I didn't know what in the world to expect from him. And I really enjoyed that project. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what else Goonie has.
I forgot, actually, the person, before I said Dope, the person I was thinking of was actually K-Dog. I feel like after the reaction of hearing their aspects of it, I feel like I need to give it a different listen and see maybe if I was missing something, or just to reevaluate hearing what I thought of it.
I would have to say Ron Slab is still my favorite one. I mean, to me, it just offered everything. Good production, good lyrics, good creativity. I mean, Pro to me is just the most polished out of everyone that we've covered, so I'm gonna stick with that one.
Well, obviously I liked a bunch of the projects a lot, but if I had to pick one, well, actually the reason I'm going to pick this one is because as we were going through different artists and stuff like that, when I resorted back to just hearing some shit I wanted to hear, it had to be the Abortion. That was one of my favorite projects. I found myself going back to it I don't know how many times.
Understand? That's it? Whew, man. Riding Slab is definitely up there. But I mean, just as far as what I really like or go back to, Riding Slab or Envy Hunters with the Patiently Waiting. Those two, oof, man, pound for pound, those were great to me. And I would say I'll give my honorable mention to Les with the Gran Turismo.
Yeah, that was good. My honorable mention would probably be Drug Wars with Bossa George. I thought that was pretty dope.
If I had to pick most disappointed, I guess I'll pick One Young, actually. His
promo?
Yeah, the promo disc. It was out of him or that in any of the Roosh projects.
That makes sense.
Yeah, any of the Roosh projects.
Well, I don't want to say it makes sense, it's consistent.
Yeah, it was a fucking million artists going through my head, but yeah.
Again, say it, Man-Child, but there were several others, but I mean, thinking ones I was one of the tougher ones to listen to. Actually, now I think about it, was Attack of the Drobots. That was definitely one of the tougher listens outside of Turbo Life.
Mine would be Turbo Life 1, and then Roosh's work was, I mean, Better Late Than Never and Attack of the Drobots were pretty disappointing. They were they were disappointing, but they were my least favorites.
Yeah.
Standout producers. That's one of the harder ones because we got some throwed ass producers here.
Yeah.
But the ones that really stand out to me, George Young, of course, and G&B.
Yeah.
G-Luck and B-Don. Donnie Houston first comes to mind.
True.
Donnie Houston and I mean, of course, Mr. Rogers, DJ Mr. Rogers, but you know what I'm saying? But he's not like stand out, like he just not came out. He's been there for a minute, so I mean, I think that goes without saying. So I was gonna say Donnie Houston and G-Luck and B-Don. Oh yeah, and for real, shout out to George Young, straight up.
No doubt. I'm gonna go with Chris Rockaway, man, because all of those guys that you mentioned are good. Aside from Mr. Rogers, he's like legendary with you. But G&B, Donnie Houston, they're good, but they make similar beats. You know what I mean? So, but Rockaway, man, when he said that he did that Dharma, whoa, I was like, that dude is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that's what I'm going with, Rockaway.
Can't be mad at none of those.
We've covered a lot of albums, or mixtapes, projects, whatever, so there's been a lot of songs. I'm going to say Father's Day. Father's Day is the one that kind of stands out to me from the rest.
I feel like you stole my answer, but to back Doe, I'm going to have to say probably Cruising by Doe. I like that cut a lot.
Really? I see that one coming.
Wow.
Yeah, this is definitely a hard one, but the two that pop into my head the most is Louder off Riding Slab.
Hell yes.
And these are just the two songs that I refer back to the absolute most is Louder from Riding Slab and Houston Zoo off Gran Turismo.
Yeah. You got an honorable mention?
I did it too.
Man, there's so many.
Yeah, because I like the I Am the Same as You with Dwayne Jackson, the very first song of his, and fucking Guns N' Roses was my shit too, off that Prestige. When he actually first started singing.
Yeah, the one off the Dharma.
Oh man, it's
that's one. My honorable mention. What's the title of that one on Dharma? That 6 feet deep is where I leave your self-esteem.
Yeah, I know you're talking
whatever
about.
the title.
Murder's Mouth.
I'll scroll the name of the song.
Yeah, so that's my honorable mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
Standout beat for me had to be, I know y'all get me in this, the intro on the One Young promo. That beat.
Definitely disagree with that one.
That beat is phenomenal to me. Phenomenal. I already know y'all gonna say something else, so to go against the grain, that has to be that one.
Honorable mention, real quick.
Houston Zoo, fucking off that list.
Let's go, man.
Man, I can be all day.
What you got?
All day.
Also, a lot of them on this, but I guess I'll keep it consistent. Is Houston Zoo, the mashup of that sample, and like if you took that sample out, the beat is dope. But that, I think pound for pound's got to be the hardest beat.
I'm gonna go Crazy Thing. Young Sam, off that dope. Footprints on the Moon. Crazy Thing about it.
Oh wow,
Okay.
That's my shit.
Okay. I'm very surprised.
I wasn't expecting that.
I thought you would have said Bang Bang, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to
do
give
wanna
Bang
throw that
Bang
in
my
there.
honorable
Yeah,
mention
that
there.
bitch was hard.
Yeah. All right, well, the one review I missed was Goonie Spliff, K-Dog, and it was that CA. And was there one more involved with that?
And Goonie.
I said Goonie, K-Dog, CA. All right, really like Goonies. I actually went back and listened to that outside of the review. I'm still listening to K-Dog. Wasn't so big on CA. Just sounds like he needs to be a little more polished, and just didn't really feel a lot of the songs. Just to give a real quick critique, and I forgot who else was in that. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, and no, I haven't changed my opinion on any other reviews.
Yeah, I haven't missed any reviews, but I haven't changed anything either because I listen to them so much. But by the time I get to the review, I already feel how I feel. Now I go through different, not emotions, but different thoughts of it going through the listening process. I might like it right away, then come to not like it, and all that type of shit. But no,
I missed quite a few, but the ones that really stood out was the Stunner Bam and GT Garza, the Richie Balance. Stunner Bam surprised me. Overall, I thought it was a good project. I like to see GT Garza and his growth in his project, so that was a nice listen. The Les, D-Lo, I missed those two, but my review is pretty much consistent to the prior two. One thing, I don't change anything that I said, but if we could do anything over, I feel like what we playing the dominoes during like the T2 review and the other few reviews, I feel like wasn't a good look. I feel like we could have did that different. We was in a state of trying to try something new, bring a dope little twist to it, not really realizing how that might look to the artist or anybody else who put their hard work and shit into their project. So if I could take anything back, I guess you could say I would take that back, but nothing that I said to anybody.
Can I say I disagree with that?
you just did.
Just not.
So working together, you already said back in the Fast review that it was Cab and
I still
Fast.
stand by that.
I agree with
That's
that
a
too.
good one.
And I was saying, I was speaking to someone, I believe it was Tootie on Twitter. I was saying that I would like to hear Show, Hood Star Chance, Goonie, and K-Dog get on the track together. I feel like they could make some pretty good music, man. As far as like, those are artists, but I would like to hear Rockaway and Donnie Houston with Dwayne Jackson. I've heard one song with Dwayne Jackson and Donnie Houston, but I feel like Dwayne's pretty talented that he could work with producers of that caliber and that particular sound and talent. So
I'm still exactly what he just said. I've been standing by the whole Fats and Cab since I heard both of them, and I'm gonna keep fucking pushing that until I hear it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
That's a good one. This is a real good one. But yeah, to stick with my 3 standout projects, I would like to see any kind of combination of Prestige, Envy, and Dwayne Jackson. That any kind of mesh of them and the people that work with them on the production. I think them 3 on one track, or hell, even a collaboration project of some sorts. I just think those are 3 styles that could really be like just super duper creative to listen to. So Envy, Dwayne, and Prestige.
Actually, to add, I don't know how this cat been slipping through the cracks. I would love to see Doe Beezy and Domain on a track together. I think that'll be straight fire.
That'd be interesting.
That'd
be very interesting. You think it'd be better than Doe and Pro?
I think it'll bring a completely different element to the track.
Different element, yeah.
I actually want to say, for anybody who made it to the end of this, man, I don't know how I forgot to mention him as somebody I want to look forward to, but Domain definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I guess since his was only like what, that little 6-song deal, but that was definitely I guess I'd have to put him back in there in the standout artist list too, for sure. Domain, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, based on our impact, I think we have we're obviously still in the beginning stages of really getting it across what we're trying to do and our stance on what we're doing, period. But I think in the little time that we've been doing this, I think we're making a pretty good impact. I think boys are on board, even though they might not fully understand. I think boys are on board and support the movement of honesty and having that outlet of real motherfuckers giving their opinion out and not playing into the politics of the heavy politics that go on in the city.
Very heavy.
So I think we're making a move, and I think boys are seeing it. It's a matter of time for the shit to really take off and do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, I think that I agree with what you're saying. I don't have to repeat it, but we definitely have a long way to go before we actually make our imprint on the city. I've seen a tweet by Al Hughes who said that it's a marathon, not a sprint. Some of y'all dropped out the race. Some of y'all didn't even start the race. And I agree with that, man. We don't want to be one of those type of people that kind of get a buzz and then think we made it, get one hit single, think we made it, and then fall off the face of the earth. We're not trying to do that. We're constantly trying to, get better at this and cover as many people as we can. I mean, in a short period of time, man, we've been very polarizing. We've been called everything from a new voice of the city to faceless haters to we've been accused of
the dumbest motherfuckers in
Houston. We've been accused of trying to divide the city by having tournaments and shit like that. So I mean, it's everything that I expected. Nothing that's happened has taken me by surprise whatsoever.
Yeah, nah.
But other than that, we got a long way to go, man. I mean, I'm going to definitely enjoy this journey.
Me personally, I love the impact that we're making. You know what I mean? Like I said, it ain't like we're surprised by anything that's been said. It was expected. But I love it because whether we give you a bad review, a good review, or whatever, the fact is we're giving you a review. That's something else on YouTube that'll pop up when people search your name. And hopefully, like we tell the listeners, hopefully they will go listen for themselves. So whether you like it or not, it is an outlet of getting your music out there. You know what I'm saying? Especially the hometown music. And another reason I like the impact and that I believe that we're doing it correctly is, and I'll go ahead and let them remain nameless, but a few, you could say bigger names reached out to us privately and said, hey, thanks for what you're doing. And mind you, these weren't good
always
reviews.
Privately though.
These weren't good reviews.
It's always private.
Well, I mean, some public as well, but privately, you know, to me it meant a lot for them to take the time to watch it, hit us up privately and say, hey man, you don't know how much that meant. It was a breath of fresh air to hear motherfuckers just be honest and not be yes men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And tell me what I already knew, but I needed to hear somebody say that. So thank you.
I know that's talking
So that means a lot to me, and that, to me, I believe that means we're on the right track. We love what we're doing, and to the people that are supporting us, you know what I'm saying? That's quite enough for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very happy with that. So again, we're providing outlets, whether you think so or not. We're starting discussions. You know what I mean? So
we're trying to start discussions.
I think the impact has been great, man.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out real quick, because I know, you know me, I don't like to name the names, but since it's wrapping up for season 1, shout out to all the artists, man, who supported us. Even though I got a lot of respect for artists who didn't necessarily like their reviews, but still retweeted it, still show love, because that lets me know that you're really supporting the actual movement and not just looking for someone to pat you on the back. For all of you who support and then get a review that you don't like and then go and subtweet us, great. We don't really care. You know what I mean? But for those who actually support the movement, cool. Shout out to Core 97.
Core 94.
I'm sorry, Core 94. Urban Streets, Maddie, Spotlight Junkie. Who else, man?
And for the people who say, you know, when they publicly say Houston needs this, again, that means a lot to me too, and that makes me believe that the impact we're having is good. You're saying that Houston needs something like this. That means a lot to me alone. So
no, don't want to leave anybody. I don't want to name too many names, especially for future stuff that people want to keep on the wraps. But for those who are doing the same thing what we're doing, is trying to promote Houston music. Hey, we don't look at any of these people like adversaries. We look at them as teammates. The city of Houston team that's trying to push these artists, you know. We don't want to be adversaries with any of the artists, the producers, but I understand that naturally critics and artists will be adversaries, but it doesn't have to be anything crucial.
Yeah.
But we appreciate the support. We're just now getting started, so we got a long way to go.
Thank you.
Man, go back and check out the reviews. We got a long list of reviews. Go give them a look, see what you think. Listen to the music. Give it to your own listen and see what you think.
I really enjoy doing it, man. I really do. You know what I'm saying? It's something we do anyway, and I think I'd gotten further and further away from, you know, checking out new music that was out there. So I'm glad that this reeled me back into it. And whether I like it or I don't like it, I still enjoy the whole process, you know, of absorbing it all and talking about it like we normally do, and being able to provide an outlet. So I'm really having fun with it. I enjoyed it. So thank y'all to everybody.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say either. Just appreciate the support, man. We've been putting in a lot of work. You know, it's been a grind, but it doesn't really seem like it to me. You know, I've been enjoying it, but we've been putting in work, man, to listen to everything we can. And there's a reason why we're covering everyone's catalogs, because speaking for myself personally, I'm not familiar with everyone. So I want to hear everything that they've put out, so we can have a discussion about growth and any other type of stuff. Just to come on here and say we like it or we don't like it means nothing. You know, why we like it, what we've noticed from the previous work to the present work, it's a whole different type of conversation. That's what Bayou City Reviews is all about. We appreciate the support.
Smoking purple.
Drink purple.
I don't make squares. Fucking circle.
Trees? Trees? I guess that's it.
I forgot about Double B. I meant to mention it.
You see what I'm saying? When I take it and I write that, it's because a lot of people think that. And they're not saying it because they're cowardly people. You see what I'm saying? So when you write it and you put it there and you leave it and say, watch, let me watch and see what happens. And there's so much controversy around it, you didn't say anything. Then you go, see, they think that.
Yeah.
They just won't say it to them because they're a bunch of punks.
Yeah.